Welcome back to Good Morning LaLa Land. We're all about art in the LaLa Land. We're dreamers, believers, doers. So Luke McGarry is in the house. You're a cartoonist. You are a musician. You are a true artist. I mean, you do posters. You do all kinds of stuff.
Just avoiding real work.
I think probably millions and millions of people would like to have your job, art.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm having a good time doing it, yeah.
Well, you were clearly born gifted. Your father's an award-winning comic book artist. Tell us about your journey. How did you learn from him? What was that like for you?
Well, I grew up, as you said, my dad's a cartoonist, so I grew up kind of, that's all I knew. He was a cartoonist and he was at home all day working. All of his friends were cartoonists and they just stayed at home. So until I went to school, I didn't realize that isn't what people's parents did. I figured everybody's dad just stayed at home in his underpants drawing all day. So that's all I knew. So I assumed that's what you were supposed to do when you grew up. So I just picked up a pencil and started drawing since forever. Wow. And then, yeah, the idea of real work didn't appeal to me. I had no real world skills. I could only draw.
Well, your real world is incredibly fantastical.
Oh, thank you.
Tell us about the NCS Fest that's happening right now.
NCS Fest. Well, a little bit of a background on that is we are the NCS, the National Cartoonist Society, and it started in 1946. All the famous cartoonists got together during the war to draw for the troops, and then they kind of realized, oh, this is fun, we should get together and drink and give each other awards. So we started the National Cartoonist Society, and we're in our 73rd year. Wow. But this is the first year we're launching this NCS Fest in Huntington Beach, and it's sort of, you have comic cons, you know, we attend all the major comic cons like San Diego and WonderCon and New York and stuff, but this is the first European style comic festival. It's more of a celebration of the art form rather than kind of vending stuff to people in a big convention center. So it's a big outdoor festival, loads of free events, you know, loads of seminars, workshops. There's a giant comic strip at the Huntington Beach Pier that we're working on. There's a zombie walk where you can dress up as a zombie and walk along, you know, the beach with Charlie Adlard, the artist from The Walking Dead. So yeah, we've got all sorts of stuff going on.
I mean, people are literally fanatical when it comes to, you know, zombies, The Walking Dead, their favorite comics and cartoons. I mean, they want to live this universe.
And now you can.
But isn't that what's so cool is that there's like these little micro like universes and communities popping up that technology really has allowed us to all connect
absolutely.
That, right?
It's really exciting because I mean I'm predominantly a sort of web-based cartoonist. I use social media, but we've got, you know, all the old guys. Forgive me for calling you old, everybody. But yeah, all the newspaper guys, everybody. So we're covering everything. We've got guys from The Simpsons this weekend. You know, all the newspaper guys that you can imagine, and then, you know, social media cartoonists like me as well.
So, sorry, go ahead.
You're good.
And what makes a good comic?
That's a good question. There's also, I mean, there's so many different ways to approach it. There's so many guys that you know, are really strong writers, and they kind of develop a more simplified style because they were a funny guy that, you know, wanted to convey it through cartoons but couldn't necessarily draw. And then there's guys that are just absolutely fantastic artists. So it's really, I don't know, there's so much to kind of appeal to everybody. It's really what you're looking for, you know, in a comic. You can do political cartoons. We've got political cartoonists on both sides of the spectrum this weekend, but then you've got superhero guys, zombie guys, you know.
And what's your specialty?
My specialty is, some of it borders on political, but I'm mostly I work a lot in the music scene here in LA, so I do concert posters and stuff like that. I work with Coachella and all those guys, yeah.
Super cool. What would surprise people the most about making a living as a cartoonist?
It's that you can.
Surprise!
It's possible. Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
That's such an important question and conversation, though, especially, you know, around LaLa Land, right? Because we're not just about Los Angeles, but we're a community of dreamers and of doers, and so many people struggle to make their art, whether it's as cartoons or acting, or hosting, or whatever it might be.
Absolutely.
A business that they can not only survive on, but thrive on. So how do you do that?
Well, for me, and I will be talking about this in a seminar this weekend at NCS Fest, but it was sort of kind of utilizing social media in a sort of kind of 2010s, almost 2020s approach to kind of getting out there. Because it used to be that you had to get an agent and kind of send out, postcards of all your, specifically for cartoons, but sort of in any of this, like acting, it would apply to anything. But kind of, you used to have to buy ads in books and, get out there and stuff. And now you can just tag people on social media. You just hit the hashtags and go, here's a cartoon about Johnny Depp, hashtag Johnny Depp. And then all the Johnny Depp fans will see it, so you can really kind of find an angle, find a niche in social media and really, attack that.
Yeah.
I would love if you would maybe draw us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you say that. You say you love it now.
I don't know. We should do this. I mean, is that something you can do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
a quick sketch?
I can do a quick sketch.
Wow.
Oh, amazing. I love this. Okay, so tell us a little bit about when you do a quick sketch like this, what are the first things you look at in the person?
Okay. I look at, and again, I will be discussing this a little bit in my talk this weekend, but everybody has a different technique, but I sort of go head shape. It's sort of, I break things down into shapes. So it's like, kind of the shape of your face, and then the shape of your nose is your nose. Basically, there's for my process.
We know what's going to happen with mine. We're going to see that coming
there's
a mile away.
like 3 shapes you can choose from. You've either got a square nose, a rectangular, a triangular nose, or a circle. So, if you were drawing a clown, that would just be a round head with a round nose. I won't, break you guys down into shapes.
I'm gonna hear that.
You're such a square.
I'll leave off the running commentary of how my thought process is going, but I will do a quick sketch of you guys.
So what's your favorite project? What would be your dream project ever?
My dream project would probably be, because I work a lot in animation. I do animated music videos for people. My brother and I work together. We do commercials and, music videos. My dream would be to get a TV show and have other people do all the animation. Let me just kind of write some stories. I'm tired of staying up till 6 in the morning and sleeping for an hour and then coming here as lovely as it is to be here at 8 in the morning. I've had about 2 hours sleep, so it's really nice.
But
to see you
animation,
guys.
is completely different than it used to be. It used to be a pen and paper, and now all the technology and everything, you've got to be very advanced. And
It's
so much stuff, right?
Well, it's sort of gotten more advanced and a lot simpler too. Computers have kind of revolutionized, excuse me, the way everybody works. I don't really know. I know about 3 cartoonists now that still work pen on paper. We all work digitally, in various different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to technically be able to draw, but now you have to, spill less ink on your carpet.
So someone out there that is interested in learning more about art, about cartooning, illustrating, all that stuff, where would they go?
Well, you can start by coming to the NCS Fest this weekend in Huntington Beach from May 17th to 19th. I hope I got those dates right.
Sounds about right.
But yeah, I would say, kind of attending comic conventions, attending stuff like that, if you can get in. San Diego's hard, but there's loads of other ones. And getting out there and meeting, other artists and stuff like that is a really interesting way. And then just, being at home drawing, that's a great way to get into cartooning. Just be at home and draw, just do it.
And then share it out wherever you can.
Exactly, just get it out there, show people.
Speaking of, we'll stop talking your ear off, so maybe you can actually sketch over this commercial break. Stay tuned. We'll, of course, be seeing our sketch, and we'll have a special song from Casey Bear. We'll be right back.